Welcome back to Tales of Yvonne. We are a Mythcraft TTRPG podcast, and this is our first campaign, this series tale. I am Corey Griffin, and I am our Mythcrafter. With me today, we have Adam,
Hi, I'm Adam, and I'm playing Dogan Le Fight, I think.
Joey,
What's going on? I'm playing Yusuri Arconi.
Kate,
Hi, y'all. I'm Kate, and I'm playing Illawa.
Jesse,
Hey, I'm Jesse, and I'm playing Zeph.
and last but not least, we have Kobe.
Hey, it's Kobe playing Les Zeon.
On the last time of Tales of Yavard, the crew went through the ship to determine what to do with it next. Without being able to do anything in the exact moment, Zephyr used a mimic potion on the wheel to turn it, as a defense mechanism. Upon the return for the crew back to the Bounty's fortune, a mysterious voice could be heard that sent shivers down Yusuri's spine. Stay tuned to find out what happens now.
The last thing the four of you heard was Usuri Circle.
Well, there is only one person who would still call me a Sarko with a voice like that. Katya, how are things with you?
Out of the shadows, kind of stepping forward, is this pitch black cow, moderately sized, not quite as tall as Yusuri, only like 6'2", in very tight, well-fitted leather armor, with a plethora of knives just everywhere. Well, I have been doing worse. I was told that you had died.
Not physically, but in the sense, yes. I have died.
No. See, you're here on my turf with me, which means you're coming home.
We've gone over this, Katya. Well, for one, I am no longer a Sarko. Which means any deals that I had with your family, any contracts, or arranged marriages are not fulfillable.
No. You sorry, that's not how this works.
Actually, I'm pretty sure that's how that works.
You don't want this, you sorry.
You say this every time we go over this, Katya. Look, it's not going to work. There is no Sarko family anymore. Not, at least, legitimate family members. Look, I'm an Arconi now, so it's just not going to work out. And I've told you this for years, that it's not going to work. And I've told you multiple times to find somebody better than me.
Sorry. No. You don't get it. You don't understand. You belong to me. Not the Sarkos, not any of the family. Me.
I do not belong to anybody, Katya. Not even you. I know you have your feelings of love, and as I've said before, it's flattering, but I do not reciprocate. I think of you as an ally, or I guess I did when it was, the family. I don't know. I suppose now things are even more complicated, so I guess we have to revisit that conversation, but an ally is all we will ever be.
You watch as her Her left eye starts to twitch a little bit, and she shakes her head and she's like, "Sorry, that's not. This isn't gonna go the way that you think it is. You're mine."
Katya, we go over this every time. And every time we go over this, I am never closer to being yours.
But see, this time you don't have a city to go back to. This time you have no backing. This time I can take you.
She reminds me of my ex-wife.
Well, Katya, you are right about one of those things. I no longer have a city to go back to. However, I do have a backing. I have found people who share similar goals, who aren't dealing in the criminal world, and quite frankly, who treat me more like family than a lot of my family ever has before. And if you try to take me, they won't let it go. They won't let you take me. You can try, but it won't be in your favor. And I'm warning you now that I would highly recommend not trying to pursue me. It is in your best interest to give up on me.
You sorry. I will never give up on you. You say you have a family, or people who are more like family to you now. So what would you do to protect them?
I would kill anybody who threatened their lives.
No, 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 I would never threaten their lives. Their happiness, maybe. Their ability to leave the city, maybe. Not their lives. Yusuri, you're mine. And then she takes a step backwards into the shadow and disappears.
As she disappears, the head of the anchor flies through the air and impacts the wall and then crumples to the floor, leaving a massive dent in the stone wall.
Logan. Yeah, that brings back memories. Woof.
I think we should return to the ship now. And I fear that there will not be good things waiting for us.
Hopefully our friends were able to at least handle themselves. Should be in ruins if everything went at least somewhat well.
I wonder how many people Matt killed.
I fear that being on this island means that I will have to kill another family member.
Isn't it possible we just leave the island before we get into a bunch of more bullshit?
I mean, she seemed pretty unhinged to me. I think it might be better to deal with it now than let it sit and ferment for later.
Like it has been for 15 years.
Woof.
And Yusuri will just deadpan, straight face, walk forward to the ship.
You all make your way back to the ship.
Meanwhile, Elo is just kind of having a fun little swim with her shark buddy.
Just swimming in the sea. As you get closer, you do find what he was talking about when he said someone had gifted them with snacks. You find a large cannon with bodies attached to it and a broken rowboat. But the people that were, there are dead, and most of them are at least slightly chewed on.
enough. I assume we're relatively close to the Bounty's Fortune at this point.
Yes.
Sweet. I probably am going to bear well to Finn the shark, spelled Fynn. It's very important, and make my way back up onto the dock. Probably right as they are getting there, if I were to guess.
Actually, you'd probably get there a little bit before them.
Okay, cool. Well, if I don't see them, I'm just going to go ahead and go back up on the ship. Assuming, actually, is there any reason that I would, like, if I'm looking around and being intentional, is there any reason that I would not just walk up on the ship? Do you want a perceiving?
Yes, please. Actually, wait a minute. The people that were on the ship, would you have let Matt booby trap the ship?
No, probably not.
Goran would have tried to talk him down.
Yeah, Smith would also be against that for sure.
Okay. Never mind. You don't. The booby traps are not set. You don't have to worry about it.
I want to see what I would have gotten if I was going to blow up.
15.
You would have spotted it. Well, at least one of them.
Cool. Illawa is going to go back up, and having just come out of the water, she is going to be in her fishiest form, which means that she's maybe a little less, a little sharper features.
Luna, who's standing on the deck of the ship, just gonna be like, where's the rest of them?
I mean, if I took them in the water, they would drown. They're walking.
Luna contemplating punting the stupid little fish person.
Heavily contemplating whether to just punt the fish person. What happened at the ship? Nothing came here.
Really poorly planned on their part, actually. There were fish people, and then some crabs, and we fed some people to some sharks, and they did the flaming arrow to my shoulder, and she would point at like the gaping wound that definitely is not healed yet, or cauterized half gaping wound. I don't know. And she would just like continue on without any detail about survival of anyone, completely unaware of like what information this person actually wants, and would just give like really obnoxiously minute details, and just keep chattering until she's looking progressively more annoyed.
She would let you go for a little while. You got to understand, she has 2 kids that she deals with on a frequent basis. And then she's going to be like, okay, how is Usuri?
Illawa would stop. Finally, it would catch up to her that maybe she should be a little more tactful, and she's trying to decide how to answer this question without telling her that Usuri is really unintelligent. Usuri... Which one is that again?
The large bear.
He barely had a scratch. He'll be fine.
And the rest?
I don't know. I was in the water with the sharks. They're all alive.
So you went with them and then jumped into the water with the sharks, got the crabs, and okay.
Well, technically, I
Interesting.
bagged the guy on the way into the water. And then I came back up and got a second guy in the bag, and then he went into the water too for Finn.
And Finn is the shark.
It's not the crab.
It would be kind of ironic if one of the crabs was.
I mean, I think it would be more ironic if the crab was named Lobster, but
You're not wrong.
Okay, so neither of them know what irony is.
This conversation probably goes on for a long period of time because Luna can put up with just about any level of bullshit.
Illawa is fully just embracing the bullshit at this point.
At which point, everyone else will make it to the gangplank of the ship.
Has any of the other members of the party clocked that Illawa is not with them? Or is it they just kind of forgot that she existed?
I think Dogen noted it, but it doesn't seem like it's of any real concern.
Les genuinely could not care at the moment.
Usuri's fuming.
Zephyr's been reading the book that he found.
Lesh, as you make your way onto the dock, think this matters most to you. Give me an awareness check.
Can it be perceiving?
Yes, perceiving.
6.
With a 6, you don't see Bonette laying on the deck, completely dead.
I can avoid that trauma.
You don't see that.
Yeah, you don't see him.
Someone kick him off the deck before Les notices.
I mean, Illiwa could feed him to the shark if you really wanted.
It's the dock, not the deck.
Yeah, somebody kick him off the dock for me. I don't ever want to face that.
You will face your trauma and you will like it.
Hey, Lesh, isn't that dead guy? That's out. That's not canon. Isn't that dead guy?
I mean, you all met Bonette, so why don't the rest of you give me awareness as well?
Okie
Nat 20.
19.
No, 21.
21, 19, 15. All three of you see Bonette laying on the dock. He's not hiding, he just laid down.
Oh, it looks like he fell asleep.
I don't think Yusuri would say anything, to be perfectly honest with you.
Yeah.
Hey, thanks for the thing. Like Zephyr's walking over to him to wake him up. Hasn't dawned on him yet.
He is not responding.
I think you should just leave it.
As he gets close enough, he would. Oh,
We're just gonna move on.
yeah. I'm gonna walk away. Super awkward. Moving on.
I think Dogen will nudge the body into the water.
Okay?
Wait, hold on. Does he? What has the rest of the crew been doing up to this point? I'd like to ask that question.
From my understanding, no one would have left the ship. They were defending the ship.
Yeah, but they would have been on the deck, so they probably would have at least seen that Bonette is just been laying there for a while now.
On the dock.
Yeah. So I think before Dogen pushes his body, Larissa would probably make some kind of noise to get his attention and give you a hand signal to not do that.
Everybody sees Larissa just standing up on the handrail doing the no motion.
So she's probably like her elbows are on the railing and she sees Dogen and she probably just like whistles and just kind of like shakes her head. She's not being super obvious about it. It's just like there's having especially her because she deals with the dead so often, there's a certain way that you go about doing things and to her it's not Dogen's place to take care of the problem.
Dogen can do what he wants to do with that.
I mean, yeah.
No, it was more like him not really thinking that anything good would come of Lesh confronting this.
Well, you either deal with it for him or he deals with it himself. Eventually he's gonna realize that Bonette is nowhere to be found. And no one's
Yeah.
gonna lie to him. Larissa's not gonna lie to him.
I mean, Dogen wouldn't lie to him either. It's just more of like the timing is not probably very good at all.
Say at the end of the day, Larissa gave you like a motion not to do that. What you do with that from there is what Dogen would do from there.
I think with Lesh's like original awareness check and stuff like that, probably just trailing behind a little bit. He's actually riding again for the first time as he's walking back, so he's a little bit slower because he's been so accustomed to the feather riding for him that he's kind of walking a little bit slower. So he just hadn't noticed anything yet. So he's like kind of walking onto the docks now, I assume, as like that interaction's happening, but he just hasn't noticed really yet. But he can kind of see there's like some sort of something going on.
Does he go
Alright.
investigate?
Yeah, he would. He's a inquisitive guy.
If Les starts to walk over to where Dogen and Bonette are, Larissa would probably go down the gangplank.
Yeah, Dogen won't dump the body at that point. I assumed Lesh had gone up onto the ship already. But what Dogan will do is kind of step towards Lesh, put like a hand on your shoulder, and then head up onto the ship as like a, sort of like a I'm sorry sort of thing.
And I think at this point, Lesh sees Bonet, and I described it before, but I'll describe it again. This man burned his life to be able to do um that many paper people and for that long. He poured his essence, everything that he was, into that ability, and it's very obvious to tell that the one of the last things he was able to do was to heal everyone.
Yeah. Lesh like seeing the body, and after like Dogen had put his hand on his shoulder, he just kind of walks up to like where the edge of the body is and just begins to sit cross-legged in front of him. Tears just begin to just like silently stream down his face for a minute before he can speak, I think. And it's, we were supposed to see the next chapter of this story together. We were gonna go to the grove and save everybody, become heroes. I really believed it for a second. I did. I believed I could save you. I believed we were living in the story where the happy ending goes right around the corner. I will not let your sacrifice be in vain, Bonnet. I will find the happy ending of this story. This is not going to be a tragedy. This moment may be tragic, but it did not define me. I found your stories, your sonnets. I didn't have a chance to read them yet, but the power you hold shows just how deeply you cared for your stories and for the things you did. And he's going to take a small piece of crystallized quartz he's had with him this whole time that is warm to the touch. And he's just going to put it on Bonet's chest, across his arms. And Les is going to take out his storybook and lay it right beneath, like on Bonet's stomach. And he's going to take out the book of sonnets from Bonet in his hand and hold it. And he just kind of sits there for a second, and the crystal glows a little bit, and the pages of the sonnet begin to float out of the book and swirl around Lesh. And my uncle, your father, he would have loved to have seen you one more time and to hear your stories. So I will take them with me. I will keep them a part of me forever. And that way you will never truly die. Sad we couldn't spend more time together. The childhood memories we have are part of the story that made me who I am today, Bonnet. I will miss you, and I will cherish you forever. And cover of the book in Lesh's hand begins to like fade away, almost as like as the essence is like leaving it, and the stories and the pages and the sonnets all begin to funnel into Lesh's storybook. And they make a chapter, and you just see Bonnet's final tale. And it's just a section of the book that holds all of his sonnets in it and stuff like that. And the book closes. Lesh picks up the crystal, leans over, kisses Bonnet's forehead, and silently walks on to the ship and into his quarters.
So at some point during that interaction, Larissa would have walked close to you. She would have given you a respective distance. Um, but that being said, in order for you to go onto the ship, you would have walked past her. She would look like she wants to talk to you, but if you just walk past her, she won't she's not going to stop you or anything like that. So it's up to Lesh if he wants to interact with Larissa or not.
Yeah, I don't think he would. I think he closes the book and like puts the thing back in his, and he like gives her a knowing nod and was like I see you, but just doesn't have it in him, and I think he almost goes to say something, and his voice like cracks at the first word, and you can hear him like stifle, like choke, trying to hold the tears in, and realizing just he has no more words to say without fully breaking down, and just walks onto the ship.
Okay. At that point, she would probably. I'm assuming he's wearing some kind of like robes, right?
No.
Or some kind of jacket or something, not just.
Oh yes. He has a jacket.
So she would probably lay him down because he's like slumped up against like a barrel or something, right?
Yeah.
So she would probably take the jacket off, lay him down flat, um, do the whole crossed arms thing, and then put the jacket over his upper body. That way he's covered. She's gonna leave the body there for now because she's gonna try to have a conversation with Lesh at some point, but she'll leave it at that and then walk back onto the ship.
What else is everyone else doing? What is Zephyr doing as he makes his way back onto the ship?
Realizing that they made their way over here and that the ship hasn't been like he had thought it was, I think he would try to talk to Usuri if he's not busy doing other things.
Well, I mean, he probably went onto the ship and went to Luna immediately.
Okay, so we'll start with that. Oh, you're safe. Good.
Well, safe is not quite the word that I would use.
Are they dead?
The ones that were on the ship are, yes. I mean, worst case scenario, there's more windwalkers within the city. But they are not of the immediate concern any longer. They are not who we are not safe from, unfortunately.
Okay. What do we need to do?
The fast answer is get everybody on the bounty portion and leave now. I that would be the quickest way to put a band-aid on our problems. However, that would just fix a temporary issue versus actually dealing with the problem that I
What
have been escaping and running away from for 15 years.
what do you want to do?
Well, that is a very loaded question. I want to not have to deal with this problem. I want to just run away from the problem again. But that is not the responsible thing to do. There are many factors as to why that is not what we should do. You, Matt, Millie, dealing with the family, that is all things that are why we should not just run away from this problem.
Will the problem follow us?
Well, yes. Yes, it will. The only way to fix the problem is probably to kill the problem. Because running away Although effective in the short term, not the responsible move.
I think at this point Zephyr walks up.
Yusuri, I had some questions or suggestions.
Okay, what is it?
I think the sooner that we lay claim to that ship, the better. And my thought was maybe if we pilot our ship over there, we could sit near it while we gather a crew. It shouldn't be hard to hire more.
As it stands, we have basically a minimum crew to run this ship. It's going to be quite the price tag to find a fully functioning crew in such a short amount of time. I understand what you're saying. I would very much like to lay claim to the ship and have both, but I just don't know how feasible it is. And unfortunately, the problem that surfaced itself on the way back to here is going to be something that needs to get dealt with.
Who do we need to track down? You know you have the support of everyone here, right?
Yes, very much. It's simply the fact of having to deal with this problem that I really don't want to, but like I was telling Luna, it's not really the option here. We should probably gather everybody together, see how everybody is doing after the assault on the ship and how everybody was doing here. And we should talk about what our next plans will be.
Sounds good. I can work on that while you guys have your moment.
Can everybody fit in the commander room?
Yes.
Zephyr, if you will have everybody meet in the map room, we will have our meeting there.
Got it. And turn around, and as he's walking away, you would probably hear over the bracelet, "Hey, everyone, we're meeting in the command room. Be there as quickly as possible." He's just saying it straight over the bracelet, quickest way to get a hold of everybody.
Illawa does not have a bracelet, and also being she may not be a very charismatic character, but she does have a relatively high int, and so perceiving that this is clearly a very serious space, she would have made herself scarce. She is both bloodied and out of spell points, so she is somewhere trying to find rest, and she's probably flipping through Samuel's journal, looking for more details about her objectives.
Okay. There are definitely hammocks that she could take over.
She would find the most out of the way hammock she could find.
Dogen and or Goron would have heard it over the bracelet.
Yeah.
Dogen would have seen everybody starting to.
Yeah, he'll filter that way. He'll probably make a pit stop in wherever some of the booze is. And then when he comes back in, he'll just set a mug down in front of Yusuri and a mug down in front of Lesh before he takes a spot somewhere.
I was going to ask, is Lesh going to go answer the bracelet's call?
Yes, Lesh is, and when Goron puts the mug down in front of him,
Dogen is the one that does that, to be clear.
when Dogen puts the mug down, Lesh would put his bottle of wine he's drinking currently down next to it and just be like, oh, take the mug, and then pour himself another glass as he finishes the mug.
All of you would notice that Gregory is just sitting on the table.
Okay. That changes some things. Whatever he is closest to Gregory, Lesh is sitting there, has his book on Gregory's back, and is just leaning on him, like just silently crying.
That's apologies. You shouldn't be up here. That's
No, it's okay. It's okay. He can stay. He can stay.
oh.
It is impressive that a tortoise his size was able to get on the table. Is he starting to do that floating thing again?
Yes, I believe so. I'm not sure how he got in here, to be honest with you. Last I checked, he was still below decks.
Can't stop me, won't stop me.
To be clear, that's only Gone who can hear those, right? Can hear Gregory, right?
Yes.
I'm not sure what that means, Gregory. I'm not.
I have almost completely mastered telekinesis. Nothing can stop me.
Well, if everyone is down here, then I suppose we should discuss our current plans and objectives. The first and big, not necessarily the biggest thing, but one of the first things is that we do have a ship that is ripe for the taking. Um, However, we do not have the current means and methods in order to crew and keep the ship functioning properly. So if we are going to take it, we are going to have to remedy that situation first.
If I could offer an opinion, I don't think we're going to do any better luck hiding who we are and what we're doing by stealing a flagship. We were lucky enough to take one of the lesser known smaller ships of theirs and still are almost recognized as Windwalkers. On top of the funds that we did the math, we were having to be quite considerate about our funds when it came to the small boat, if I remember correct. I do worry about trying to crew a big boat and what that would actually lead for us. Personally, take the arcane cannons that are worth it, the actual cannons are worth it, you punch a couple holes in the bottom of it, and we sell the rest of it for parts. But that is my opinion in the matter, obviously. Whatever we go with, I'm happy to go along.
That is actually not a horrible idea. The counter argument to that is that if we are to strengthen our fleet, having this ship would be a great way to do that. If we intend to go against other Windwalker ships in the future, they may, have more than one ship with them. Having two of our own or even three of our own at some point may be worth it if we can find the right crew in order to man them. But I think at this particular time, if we want to just strip it for parts and then sink it, that is an option, yes.
I guess my biggest question that I have for you is, do we trust just hiring a bunch of people to sail a ship for us?
I think without vetting them for this particular cause, no. I don't. It's not that I wouldn't trust people, it's that I wouldn't trust them to not abandon ship, knowing that we're going against the Windwalkers. Well, first, we have to find the crew who is willing to go against the Windwalkers. I will not lie to somebody putting their lives in danger. So first, we have to find people who are even willing to get on the ship, and then finding the people who are willing to stick with the cause along the way. Well, we've gotten lucky that everybody here is on board with that, but I think we're pushing our luck.
And that is another thing to add. I don't to mean to be what for one side or the other, but we are just now getting to a point where we can handily, crew this ship with people who are, down for the cause for one reason or another. So I do worry about what happened last time. Listen, as soon as we actually got into any of the stuff we got into, we came back to nobody. I know we were in jail and all those things didn't make sense, but it does.
Not nobody.
You, hey, like you are special, and you stayed and you were down for the cause, Jimmy. We got some beef because you cook way better than me, and I take it personally. Not going to lie, just got to put that out there. But you're cool. But that's what I'm saying. Not everybody's gonna be cool like you.
But we do appreciate your loyalty, Jimmy.
And since you're here, Jimmy, do you think you could whip up something? I am fucking famished after getting killed. By the way, did anybody see that? I know, like, I killed that guy. It was pretty sick.
Yes, you are one kill.
You sorry? I need this. Okay, just
I do have something that you all might enjoy. Yes, I'll be right back. And he, again, very cautiously, very kind of like dodging the sunlight in all its forms, up to the point that he has a parasol.
he is a fucking vampire and nobody believes Lesh, and it's really bothering me.
I don't know that nobody believes him. I just don't think anybody cares. I think at some point he just made really good food and stuck around long enough that it's misled loyalty.
This man is a vampire and Hannibal Lectering us his victims after he sucks them dry.
Hey, you know what? If it works, it works.
Good food is good food.
Lesh ain't even mad at it anymore. That man can cook.
There are worse ways to go.
It's odd that he cooks so much pork, and I've never seen a pig on the ship.
Got that long pork.
You know, now that you mention it.
That's where actually all our other crew members went. They didn't abandon ship. He ate them and has been cooking them this whole time.
All right, we gotta lock in.
I would say though, I think anybody who knows like Lesh, they can tell he's like, this is the same Lesh that when shit went bad, anytime he's just trying really hard to keep up that super chipper mood. Like anytime he's not talking and the wine is being drinking or he's writing in the storybook, he's not letting himself stop and sit since he had to come and be social again. He's trying so hard to like put on a mask, and that mask is constant movement, extreme extrovertness. Like he's just.
Because if he stops, then the thoughts will catch up to him.
Mm-hmm.
Zephyr, noticing that, would summon a tabby cat. Tabby cat is going to just start following Lesh around and casting Reorient.
Can you read Reorient for us and listeners?
Yeah, of course.
And describe what that looks like, because I don't think we've seen that spell yet.
Yeah, for sure. So the cat has an ability called Calming Presence once per rest. So I guess it's only doing it once a day. And that just lets it cast Reorient Primal Invocation. Upon completing the invocation, choose a number of willing creatures equal to or less than your primal tier. For the cat, it's going to be 1, I'm assuming. Those creatures remove any broken, charmed, demoralized, enthralled, frightened, or shaken conditions that were affecting them. Affected creatures that have the phobic condition can ignore the effects of that condition for the next 24 hours. So mechanically, it's not really doing anything for him at this moment, but it's just being there using. I'm more using the calming presence part of it than anything else.
Mm-hmm.
It's just trying to cheer him up, and I feel like it's just that constant, like when a cat is actually being affectionate, it's whenever Lesh walks, it's like weaving in between his legs and brushing that tail up against his hand and stuff like that. Just being that sweet kitty, just following him around.
Yeah, I think Lesh would eventually end up like it would be what would slow him down enough to get him to sit. He ends up finding like a spot to sit cross-legged, and he takes out his earring, his dangly purple earring, and the purple bean starts playing with the cat. Like, You remind me so much of Arya. You know that? And just starts playing with the kitty.
Yeah, it's gonna bat it around for sure.
And now Lesh
That's-
is thinking about his captured girlfriend.
He's
And
thinking
his
about
pet
what he's
pussy.
doing it all for, is what it. But yeah, that exactly. That's fully yes. That is going to reorient him, and he maybe lose people, but he's doing it for a cause, and this is his happy ending he's looking for as Arya, and this is that reminder he needed, and he's like sits silently in the corner and recollects himself now. He's playing with a cat. Me at any social gathering party ever, once I've had a single drink, and I'm like, kitty.
I'm not gonna put it on the map, but there's the token for it.
The other issue to deal with is that there is another member of the family on this island who, although I can only assume is corrupt like Mason was, I cannot confirm. I do, however, know that she is, to put it lightly, batshit crazy. Those of you who walked back with me met her firsthand. Her name is Katya Karko. Some time ago, our families came to an arrangement for marriage. And although I never agreed, nor did we ever actually get married, she has developed a unhealthy attachment to me. And unfortunately, I did not think about the fact that she would be on Saga. And so now a problem has presented itself. Knowing her family, knowing where their loyalties lie, I assume she's going to be an issue just like Mason was, on top of the fact that now that she knows that I'm here, she's going to do everything in her power to stop me from leaving once more. We could leave now and not have to deal with the problem immediately, but I don't think that is the right way to go about it. That would be the way that I would want to go about it, because, well, we all like to run from our problems sometimes. I don't think this problem is something that we should run away from.
Consider running away from it. If you're running towards something else, may I suggest? Because that's not a whole lot of baby mama drama that I don't want to deal with.
The relationship aspect is not the problem. It's mostly the problem of, the whole quest to return the family back to its former glories and what it was supposed to be. The whole reason that we killed Mason to begin with and installed a different political system on the island. If it wasn't for that, I would probably just run away from Katya. But running away is not really an option any longer. So that is going to be something that we should deal with.
We're going to be selfish then. If we're going to deal with this, I would like to try to do so quickly. And maybe we could try to swing by the grove, because I'm pretty sure my village is going to be burnt to the ground here soon. I do realize we are here, we have things to take care of, and we are on the quest. But like I said, I'm happy to help if it's a problem that will follow us. We're going to have to deal with it. As simple as that. I mean, that's what we said we would do. We would help you set the family straight and right.
Well, I think the way that we'd go about it immediately is, to be perfectly honest, we could try talking to her, but I doubt very seriously talking will do anything. Considering her nickname is the Butcher of Saga, I don't believe that.
That's your arranged wife, the Butcher of Saga. That's. I feel like these are things I wish I would have known before I got onto this crew with you, Truth.
Do feel like that you should have led with that.
This is crazy. We're just dealing with the Butcher of Saga now. Cool. We're gonna go fight his wife, the Butcher of Saga.
No, stop. Not wife. At some point in time, betrothed, but never married. I want to be perfectly clear on this. That I have zero. I don't even call this woman an acquaintance. Less than. At this point, it's easier just to call her an enemy.
Lesh lifts up his storybook. Wife / enemy question mark. It writes in his notes on the story.
I will burn your book.
You will burn alive.
I will put you in the hammock. Don't make me.
Speaking of hammocks, I did see the fish lady in the hammock on my way over here. Do we want to deal with that at all? To talk about that, or are we just kind of letting that lie at the moment?
No, we don't want to deal with that. It's look,
Okay.
we've done weird things. I've seen weird things. I've seen you create a miniature version of me out of paper from your book. She put Samuel in her bag and then threw the body in the water to feed only what I can assume was a shark. She asked me if I was done with the body. Speaking of which, I have some items to pass around. She asked me if I was done looting the body so she could take it, and she put it in a bag and then threw the body in the water to feed a shark.
Okay, so another murderous psycho on the boat. Cool. Gonna add that to my little notes on her and my story. Is that what all the crabs came from?
I think they would have heard crabs, yes.
Oh, she knows a shark? Sharks are cool.
I mean, sharks are really cool, but like the ocean is terrifying. The stories I know of the people, this is he kind of like leans in a little bit, like she might be a fucking problem, and she's on our side, it seems. So I think we have another problem in our hands in a good way.
But yes, so she is an interesting character. I don't think she means any harm to us, and I think as long as our goals align with her, she will be a helpful ally. What her goals are, I have no idea. I know it's something against the Windwalkers at this point, but what, I have no clue.
I mean, do anybody else need anything more than that? Dogan, do you need more than a grudge against the Windwalkers or some pay to the pocket to have them on our team if they seem chill?
No, that's pretty much what I've got going.
Zephyr? I mean, actually, I don't even care about your opinion, Zephyr. You're the young one. Yeah, they're good. That's fine. They're
He's
good.
the only one that has no option in this.
Yeah, he's a Windwalker himself. I don't give a shit his opinion. We're
Listen,
against them.
while we're dealing with family problems, just go ahead and deal with mine. I feel like we're over on that.
I mean, that's kind of our whole thing is dealing with your family problems.
No, I
It's
mean,
not
like,
gonna be stepping out real quick to just fix it, right? This is a whole fucking thing, man.
Yeah, let's go deal with the Windwalkers. Yeah. I think as long as they're on our side and not causing absolute mayhem and they keep the sharks and crabs not pointed at us, I'm down. I'm down for another one upon the bounty's fortune.
I agree. So, what do we think? So problem one is figuring out what to do with the Windwalker ship. What does anybody have any opinions? We've heard that we can try to crew it if we can find the right people, or strip it for parts, keep the cannons, and sink it.
I think the better message is just to sink it as is, right? Hole in the middle of the bottom of the boat. Just let it sink down.
Usuri brushes one of his gauntlets right on the knuckles. That can be easily achieved. So I assume we have Dogan voting for sinking it. I assume Lesh is sinking it. Is anybody immediately opposed to stripping it and sinking it?
Why strip it?
well, if we sink
What
it
stuff?
right there in the dock, it's not gonna go very deep.
Well, but that doesn't mean that we can't pull the anchor up, lower the sails, and let it go into the ocean.
We could burn it.
Also, this would give Matt an opportunity to play with some explosives if that's something he would like.
Like, we could totally let Matt. Wait, we
Well-
should let Matt loot it if possible. If we keep him safe, and he can probably scavenge a bunch of shit for his adventures and gadgets, he might love it on there. We get like a little program for him.
Yeah, he
for
might
a
love it
second.
on there though. He
How
might
hard
want
would
to
it
stay.
be? How hard would it be for us to just like pull it around? I very little boat travel on this guy, obviously, but like, could we just pull it closer to us and like anchor it closer there while we strip it and then
It
into the
is.
water?
It is somewhat of a possibility. However, it is not. It would hinder our travels beyond what we should probably do.
My thought was mainly just for like the stripping and looting part. 'Cause I don't want to be over
Yeah.
here if we had like Matt grab it, but like I'm saying, like we just bring it in the ocean closer to us, and then from there,
I think it would be easier for us to move over to it.
I meant how smart that was coming out of you. Not gonna lie, I wish I would have thought of that. Yeah, no, I think I mean personally, like I said, I want to strip it. I want stuff. I like stuff. We hot hard for this. I'm fucking really hurt. That sucked. I want some reward out
could
of it.
use a nap.
That too.
Well, so that being said, it sounds like we know what we're going to do with the Windwalker ship. On to the next problem. We're also going to have to deal with that. I obviously volunteer myself, although I'm not feeling the greatest. That battle did take it out of me a little bit, but I could not expect any of you to go in my stead.
Why do we have to go now? Why not rest? We just went to war. Why not rest and then deal with her afterwards?
I don't know that we will have the ability to rest before she acts.
I want her to try and get on this ship.
As
I can
much
take that.
as that
I
would
think we should
be,
take the chance.
well, if okay, I'm not going to speak for everybody. We are all one collective voice. If we want to take a rest before acting upon anything, then that's what we shall do.
My cousin sacrificed his life to get us this far. Let's not waste it being haste and charging back into another battle before we get proper rest. I don't want to lose anybody else.
Lesh, at some point, I would like to talk to you about Bonnet whenever you're ready.
From the things I have in my stories about what you do with Buddy, yes, you can have it. I don't want to see it right now, whatever you do with it. Give me a little bit of time.
No, I would not do that without your express permission. Although that is something that is possible, and if we were to do that, we would be preserving his sacrifice amongst us. He would not, although his soul would be free, we would have a physical representation of him amongst the group. If that's not something that you're comfortable with, I can perform a death rite, a sacrificial death rite for him. That was the other thing that I was going to mention, is that we can give him a proper, I'm not going to say burial, but a proper goodbye.
That would be it would be very appreciated if you could help me. So Grove, we do something special. We a little bit of a ceremony on top of it. I believe if you were able to use a skeleton for your things, you still may be able to use him after. What we would do is we would set them up in a pyre of sort, and we would use the light of the fire to tell stories of that person's adventures, their wrongings, all the goods, the bad, all of that, and the stories yet to come that we all will live on the. Because from the Grove, if someone has a story in their book, in their mind, in their soul, you are not truly dead because your story lives on. So, yes, I would appreciate that quite a lot.
Then yes, I can absolutely help you perform that. And then, as I said, if you're okay with memorializing him and adding him as a part of our group, I can also do that. but I don't have to.
Personally, I mean, from what I know of him and his crazy bastard ass, he would probably love to live on this as a skeleton pirate for eternity. I genuinely do not think he would be there to be an unfitting end for that man's story. I mean, his physical body story at least, because like I said, his story is going to stay in my book forever, and his story will stay in my heart. So I think a bone et. But yes, no, I appreciate that, Larissa. I also appreciate your grace in asking me. I feel like the stories of necromancy and that would be, stealing your friend's loved ones from the crypts and making them face them. So thank you for asking. That's much appreciated. And when you do that part, can I watch? The magic is very interesting to me.
Yes, I can't say is that I've ever had an audience, but yes, I can do that for you.
All acts of magic, great magic deserve an audience. How else will the story be told of your greatness when you are gone?
I don't know that I would call what I have great, but I understand what you are saying.
I mean, we all see our things as different, but I see us all as great, especially with the way I write us. I'm a great storyteller, so no matter what, you're gonna be great in my stories. But look forward to doing the ritual with you and getting to extend his physical story a little bit longer.
Larissa would just kind of nod her head and then sit back down. I don't know that she necessarily stood up, but she would go back to being a wallflower.
Is there anything else besides, dealing with the non-wife now on this island? Is that all for now?
I think Dogan found the mangoes he was looking for.
You're good, brother.
They were quite good.
Did you eat all of them already? I thought we were going to share. I want mangoes. The fuck?
Caitlin wanted the mangoes. I got her some mangoes.
All I'm saying is, before we leave the island, if we're still doing all this stuff, can you at least take me to where the mangoes are? I would like to try to. I mean, we have the tangerine wine. Maybe some tangerine mango wine, a little infusion. You know.
Yeah, I'll take it to the guy. Sure.
Also, I'm not sure that we actually solved the worm situation. From my understanding, there was more to that.
We do have a substantial bounty on that. I believe it was in the neighborhood of 10,000 silver. That would.
Yeah, I think we should make sure that we finish that.
I thought that was gone when the fucking thing flew into the mountain.
Yeah, we did it.
I think the idea would be that we chase it into the mountains.
Oh, I'm not doing all that. Do you think one of the other guys would handle it? Maybe I could ask Smith or something. He seems like he would like to chase a dragon, a worm, or whatever it is. I don't want to go chase that. That's a lot of running.
I mean, he's right here in the room with us.
No, he definitely
should
not.
ask
He's
him.
definitely
Yes,
a
he
dead
is.
drunk. He's definitely a dead
he's right.
drunk.
Oh, he
he's
is.
right there.
He's right there next to
Larissa.
Larissa.
Larissa's sitting right next to him.
Smith, buddy, and Bagama. I don't want to chase the giant worm. I could barely do anything with my spells, and you want to hit it with your hammer? Does that mean I get your cut of the money? Well, duh. Of course you get my cut of the money. Why would I give you the? I'm not trying to Yeah, I mean, I'm going to take my percentage, obviously, but you can get your cut. Yeah. See, there's always the fine print with people like you, and whatever. I want to kill a worm, but I'm taking my full percentage. I ain't you gonna play none of those games with me, Mister Fancy Man, with your words and your tongues and your persuasion. I don't play none of that. Okay, I'm sorry. Jesus, you can have all your cut. I'm not gonna worry about it. Oh, I can.
So it sounds like everybody's going to take a rest.
That is what it sounds like.
So before we finish the rest, at some point, Larissa is going to both use, because they had the effects of a long rest from Bonnet, and this probably already happened, to be perfectly honest, with the timing that everybody else was off the ship. She has probably already put Grifton back together and has made him whole once more. And then she would also probably do a recasting of what she needs to in order to keep Mayev going.
Okay.
Medivh, sorry.
Everybody heads to their rooms. Can you tell me how Larissa has the skeletons up on the deck?
Mm.
Because that's where I'm assuming they are.
Yeah, Medivh is probably in the crow's nest, and Grifton and Tiberos are probably on either side of the gangplank. Did we determine that because she has raised Grifton back that he's good now? He's
Yes.
back, like he's still permanent.
Yes, I believe so. And that is where we're going to end today's episode.
Thank you for listening to episode 77. We hope you enjoyed listening and would love it if you'd let us know. You can catch us on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, Threads, Blue Sky, and TikTok under Tales of Yvard Podcast. We also have links to the link tree in the episode description. And if you really enjoyed the episode, give us a rating on whatever podcatcher you use. Tell your friends, and don't forget to join the Discord where we spend all day long talking about Tales of Yvard and Mythcraft, and whatever else is going on. Make sure to spread the word and force your friends to join.